Hello, and welcome back to another Patreon replay analysis for the ASAP Weekly Podcast. My name is Combo, and I'll be working through Mr. Bongtage's replay today. An absolute beauty himself. He's always super positive in his messages. Literally has never not put a smile on my face with a lot of his messages, which I really appreciate, especially in times like these. So as I have been with all of the March ones, I do want to put out just a public apology for the lads here that I've been really behind. I've been really slow. Coronavirus has really changed my work schedule. It's changed my personal schedule. It's really done a number on my planning and everything that I wanted to do. So I have the utmost respect for all of the patrons, including Bongtage, for their patience with me and allowing me to take the time. I'm redoing a lot of these replays because I really wanted to give them the absolute quality, and I'm excited to get back into a bit of a more regular schedule now that we've finally had a couple weeks to adjust to things like quarantine, self-isolation, things like that, and my work is finally starting to slow down a little bit. So I'm excited to get into today. We just have the one replay today. Apparently has a short OT, so I'm excited to get into it. Should be lots of fun. Bongtage did mention he's with the lads that he played with last time, which is always exciting. We'll take a peep here as we look. The Fying Chanklas. He'll have to let me know. Versus the Kappa squad. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. Should be a good match. And yeah, let's just dive right into it. I love the G2 with a sky blue Dom. Just looks so interesting. It's so different that I love it. I don't know what it exactly is, but I'm a big fan. All right, first off, let's talk. Ball pops over. You think you need to make the touch. I agree. Important note here. By this point, you have already not jumped. You have basically decided to lose this ball or catch this ball. There is no in between. So one of two things needed to happen here, and you kind of did the middle. I either want you jumping here instantly. I want you up to this ball, trying to go for the read. Push yourself. I want to see you start pushing yourself for these kind of reads because they will become so much more valuable down the line, and they're actually very easy to practice in a lot of different training packs. If you need some, please just let me know. I'll pass them along, but I need you getting up to these balls. The opposite is not jumping. So driving, noticing that he is already going to miss. We already can tell his angle is off. We assume that you have your defender somewhere over behind you, also coming into the net, who should be ideally there for the save. So now instead, since you've chosen not to jump, I would much rather see you catch this ball as it comes down from here, work your way out, and start with the guy putting it over here, joining you on that rush. Boom, 2-on-1. Just like that, we've converted what looks like a potential scoring opportunity against you into a 2-on-1, which generally should be an easy scoring opportunity for you. Where you go wrong is you made the decision not to jump early, but then you make a decision to jump anyways, and the ball now is where you could have caught it, but instead what we do is we throw it away. Kappa cheating gets it. Would have been an easy clear back to the other end, but you end up getting a good dunk. But we could have avoided all of that if you had made either the decision instantly to go up or the decision to stay down. No in between, right? We don't want no man's lands. We always want strong decision making, regardless if you're right or wrong. At least there's no hesitation, and because hesitation is what's going to burn you as you continue to get better at this game. Boys get up. Boys pop a little backward. That's okay. Interesting choice for the no boost there, whether choice or not. I do want you taking this boost. It was there. The replay shows it wasn't, but it is there. So I prefer you taking it in that situation. But you do go across the other one, and you're still in a fine position. Same thing. This is a hesitation. You're in no man's land, okay? So you see right away that your teammate has chosen not to go for this ball. You can see that. And you guys are in comms, realistically, so he should be calling that. So you have, again, a decision. Do you go for the ball, or do you wait for the ball? You end up doing, again, a bit of a middle. You go up the wall. So the issue now is that if let's say I were to draw a secondary wall of where the ball is attainable to you, if you are on the wall, so it would be here, driving basically all the way down the field. So everything off the wall in here should be achievable for you. If I know it's kind of hard to draw in 3D, but that's kind of what I'm shooting for here. So that means if this guy who's coming in hits the ball anywhere to the outside of that, you have basically done nothing. All you've done is drive up the wall to drive back down and come back into the play. That is exactly what ends up happening. And so whenever you commit to the wall, and I do this a lot, so I like that you're doing it, but you need to be smart about it. I only commit to the wall if, let's say, the ball is rolling. It starts here and it's rolling this way. Imagine this guy's in here, and we see this guy driving towards it. the if he, let's say, wants to not put it to the wall and he wants to cut it downfield, the most he's probably going to get is about a 45 off of him. Oh, sorry, I'll draw it in yellow. Is like a 45 off him this way, which actually does come pretty close to falling into your line, right? That you can read off the wall. Anything else will be well within your achievability to get to. When it's stationary like this guy coming in over here has all the play in the world to put that ball basically anywhere he wants to down the field. So choosing the wall here is not the right decision. So I like I said, I want you either fully committing based on the comms of your team. Should be a different color. I want you fully committing based on the comms of your team, or I want you getting ready to receive down to the back end. No in between, right? And so now we watch. You go for the in between. And he just has a free net. So you've done nothing, like I said, right? Like you've used this to no avail, and you were stuck in a no man's land with no purpose, right? Confused. Combo is confused. Why? Or did you cut off? Let's find out. Oh, he gets bumped. Maybe he called it. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and say that the Ranger called it. That's why you cut him off, technically, because you should be rotating him behind him in a standard rotation. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say he called it. Generally, you don't want to cut that, but if he did call it, great job. I'm happy you got there and were able to make the play. And then you rotate back-to-back post. Beautiful. Love it. Perfect defensive rotations. Nice boost amount, too. Intentionality. What's the point? What are we doing with this? Weak shot. Where are we going with it? I'm doing like a Dora moment of like talk to the screen and tell me where you go with the ball. Where do you go? You don't boom it downfield. What's the purpose? There's 3 guys back right now. There's absolutely zero purpose to doing so. I want you driving to the ball. I want you getting over it, so you're hitting higher on the ball than the middle, just higher, so that you're going to get a nice, good pass across to your boy, who I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name, as he works his way downfield. You then, by getting higher on it and not throwing yourself into it, will land, and you can now join him down the field for a 2-on-1 while the Ranger comes in for support in the back. This should be what you look for every single time you are breaking out of your end. Does not matter what the situation is. If you have a steady touch, your teammate should be thinking you're going to boom it to him. He should be going downfield. You should always be booming to his side of the field. You can boom over here. You can boom over here. You can boom on the ground. You can lead him. Do whatever you need to do, right? Put it wherever you want, but it should always be intentional. When I see you do this, this just screams clear the ball, hit ball hard. See ball, hit ball, right? Clear the ball hard with no purpose, and it doesn't serve any function other than you going for a follow, which unfortunately you do miss. But now your team is going to be hard stuck in 3-on-2 while you gather boost and come all the way back down. Great attempt at trying to take a body there. You honestly should have been scored against there, and you're there for a great save. But I hope you can see what I mean about intentionality. We just took what in a higher level game, you would have had a perfect breakout if you saw it and went for it, which you guys could have scored on, to now you all being absolutely hard stuck in your end right now as it comes around, right? And you can see the difference and the value of being intentional with all your touches here. Good. I saw that. I feel like I could hear the comms there where they got it. Great touch. It's open. The dunk. Oh, so unfortunate. Good try. Good save. The chaos, man. The absolute chaos. If you guys are in comms, let's hear the talking, right? So you see nothing right now, so they should be calling you and telling you what it is. The Rangers should be steady in net. You should be challenging this like you do and making the save. But you, like the chaos is where you right now. So you made the save. The ball is no longer in a danger zone. If let's say you're the captain, whoever talks the most of the 3 of you, take on this role. As soon as this happens, all you got to do is say, all right, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Just saying it will help every other play, the 3 of you, even yourself. Like I talk to myself, like it'll help everybody try to relax now and get back into your standard rotation. It's these kind of plays that it's so often that you guys will end up allowing a goal, and most teams will, even at the highest level of the game. But there's so much value in trying to learn to slow her down, calm down, and go from there, that now you can start trying to break out. Just like now. Boom. Perfect. Breakout to you. You're downfield now. You're boostless. Doesn't matter. We're making plays. Just like that. Great pass in the middle. Boomer incoming. Oh, off the corner. The 50. In the net. Easy money. Great turn out. This could have been scored 4 plays earlier if you did what your teammate did for you here, right? See how intentional that pass is? You're looking for it. You're ready. Yeah, you don't have boost, but you're still able to get in and make a touch, right? This should be every single time you're thinking of leaving the zone. This is what it should look like. You have a fantastic pass coming out, which leads to an even better 50 from the Ranger. You guys are leading. Great plays all around. This is what you got to be looking for. Oh, unfortunate all around. I don't have a lot of comms on this one, to be honest. Very good attempt at the read. Great try. This is what I was talking about before. I want you practicing them as much as you can, right? This is the second time in the game now that we've seen them, and the first one, both of them technically you've missed, and so that tells me that this is an awkward part for you, and it's awkward. Let me tell you right away, it's awkward for about 95% of players. And I think there's a lot of value in you really practicing these. Look into some defensive. There's like literally like defensive backboard read packs if you Google them. If you want me to recommend some, I can definitely do that. Just shoot me a message, man, and I'll pass them along. They're really good to practice. 2 reasons. 1, obviously practicing for these saves, and 2, it teaches you both overhead saves. So the opposite of that, if a ball's going on net, you can save it while driving in the same direction of it, as well as it teaches you really good overhead car control, which is just phenomenal to have in general, and will allow you to stop things like this from happening, which would be great. So keep that in mind. Good kickoff. Good boost. How to feel about this one? He touches this. You choose not to go and turn out, hoping for a good touch. Unfortunately, he gets a good clear. So, in future, do we go for these? You'd be surprised for me to say yes, because normally, I'm sure you've heard me say before, I always say, be fast to the ball, but don't rush the challenge, right? And that's exactly what you do here. This is such an awkward touch from the defense, and you can see K-Dog in net is not ready. It's just Kappa Cheatings that's left. You already have a defender there to your left waiting for you, the guy whose name I shall not say, and Ranger is currently rotating out, so there is literally no risk in you actually throwing yourself at this ball and seeing if you can pull a goal, or at least possession from it, right, rather than just giving it to Kappa. So I would have loved to see you side flip into this, right, and because Kappa, you can see, is already rushing, so he's not going to get a good 50 here. So by challenging him early here and trying to actually push it in, you would be completely set, and this is where I'd love to see you pushing these. So something I'd love for you to look for in the future. Good to the back post. Fortunately, good goal though. Let's see if there's anything I can say at least for you. See, this is a good challenge from him, but this is also where I would encourage you to be much faster, right? You have 60 boost, man. What's stopping you from jumping off and trying to aerial to this right now? Probably because it's awkward, would be my guess. If you and I were on a call right now, that would probably be my guess. But this goes the same for those awkward plays. I want you pushing yourself, right? And like, yes, you're going to lose some games. Yes, you're going to have some whiffs, but you're never going to learn this skill if you don't try it. And same thing right now, there's no risk associated. If you jump and miss, it's the exact same outcome of being scored on. But if you don't jump, he's just going to win it cleanly. At least if you jump, he doesn't feel like he has such an easy challenge. Because right now he's like, oh, I'm chilling. Like, I can just hit this ball easy. And so that's why I want to keep pushing you to challenge these balls. Push yourself, increase the skill, really start focusing on these things. Good challenge. I love it. That's what I want, right? So you forced a rush challenge just by going to that, right? Which is huge. Good turn. Awkward, right? So I'm seeing that. The corners, I can feel it, right? Start pushing yourself for these corners, right? Really start throwing yourself into learning how these corners work and how to read them, because I promise when you actually start nailing it down, it is such a valuable skill to have. Good rotation. Oh, the boost miss hurts. Good job on the pads. I love it. Great job. So I guess for me here then, why are we boosting? And like, what's the play? So you come here, let's go a little earlier actually. So right now, from what you saw just a smidge earlier, let's go back actually again. Watch your boy here. Your boy on your right is currently rotating. I'm going to call him JO3. So JO3 is currently rotating to the back post. He's rotating in behind you, meaning that you're the next to challenge after the Ranger. This goes up. You recognize that you should be moving out, so you flip. This ball pops up. You think you don't have enough boost. I think you have enough boost easily for this, just based on what I've seen you do. But that's definitely just the mental skill ceiling, which is okay. Something we're always going to be trying to fight at all ranks. But the second that you choose to be like, nah, I don't want it, I'm going to use all my boost to go to this boost, despite us just seeing that the Ranger used all of his boost to make that last play, means that he is now going to be rotating into net completely empty. So you need to be cognizant of choosing not to go for a ball, because now you've broken the entire rotation of the team just by making that choice. And so if we go back, to me, you have the two options. You go up, like I had mentioned, which is what I'd rather see you do, or you stop. Just wait right here. Because if you didn't boost, if you didn't drive, that ball was going to fall to you anyways. So you can just wait long enough for it to come to you to then make that play. And maybe you're called off by JO3 there, like, sure. But still, if you're called off by JO3, start breaking down field with that boost instead. Start being ready for that breakout. Start being ready for a play, because you already know you have someone cycling in behind. And if he's called you off, he's now taken full responsibility that if he whiffs, it's his fault, right? So you got to trust, right? You got to make those plays, because now by you coming back, you've completely taken range out of the play. JO3 is going to be empty, and you're going to be the only one sitting in net with 100 boost, not really ready to make a play, right? And so just from that one simple little decision, you've actually really hindered the team here. And so JO3 does actually end up missing, and luckily for you, you did rotate around, don't get me wrong, and the Ranger is able to make a great save, boostless, I will add, but you can see so quickly how a good offensive opportunity is completely shut down. Good 50. Good control. Another 50. Well done. One more. Little trick just to give you here. Whenever I'm doing these reads where it's kind of awkward, where you're kind of waiting to get up to the ball, you're waiting for it to catch up, I actually tend to drive. I'm driving on the wall now. I'll actually drive backwards around it and then come to it. I find that works really well for me, because it's much easier to come to a ball than it is to wait for the ball and then try to jump off and meet it. You know what I mean? It feels weird and wrong, but I do it all the time, like absolutely all the time. I will drive backwards and then come to the ball, and it works super, super well. I really would recommend it. Jump. Oh, absolutely bullied your teammate. Another good challenge. Unfortunately pops through, but still. You guys definitely should have been scored on, but that's okay. Oh, the breakout. Get there, JO3. Oh, nice try. Nice. Good job. Good touch. Nonetheless, that doesn't even matter to me whether it was good or not. The fact that you were able to... I think we missed it here. Or did I? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, it's up here. So the fact that just from you going for this, in general, forces Kappa in net there to make a play, right? You're forcing him. Look how much boost he's using to make that shot out. You've now wasted a ton of his boost. You steal his boost, and now you guys are in pressure mode, right? Now you can hold pressure. Now you can start the offense. That is a perfect way to be the first man challenging. And look, you have not lost pressure yet. So now we hold it. This is where you're talking. Whoever, like I said, team captain, whatever you want to say, whoever's the loudest, this is where you start calling it. You see that you don't want to go for this ball yet because your boy's coming in. Great. You get the mid boost, or at least wait by it. Now it's your turn. Great. You've made your play. Great. Move out. Get some pads. Next. Great. Is it on? It's on. All of that starts because you generated pressure all the way back here, right? Literally all of that comes from you starting with this touch by forcing one of them out, and then I think it was the Ranger was next. No, JO3 waiting there to make the next play. This is what it should always look like. Let me actually throw in Flycam for you to show you just how valuable this is. It's because this, like, the fact that both of your goals this game have come from perfect playmaking, like team setups, tells me that you guys have the capacity to do it. We need to work on the consistency to do it every time, right? And so let's start with this. So JO3 comes in. You rotate actually back in. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a cut, but you are able to secure it into taking a boost. The Ranger wins a good 50. You've now moved into the number 2. JO3 gets boost, moves into the number 3. You switch back out into his number 3 while he moves. The Ranger is coming back into the middle, secures that middle boost. He's now going to turn into the number 1. JO3 turns into the number 2. You move into the number 3. JO3 wins the touch, puts it on net. Absolutely flawless offensive rotations. It should always look like this, other than the one cutoff that I caught you on, Bongtage. It should literally always look like this. There is absolutely no question about it. And the fact that you guys can pull this off here tells me you can do it all the time. And so I really, really want to challenge at least all three of you, honestly, to trust each other in those rotations, stick hard to them, hold steadfast in them, and continue to work with it, because the more you guys communicate, play like this, you will destroy even high champion teams easily, right? Easily all the way up the chain, right? So I really want to see you guys keep focusing on this, because it's such a good way to play, and you guys absolutely exemplified a good standard high level offensive rotation there. The boost miss. Same thing. That should be a goal against, Bongtage. You flip, therefore you can't go. Don't go now, right? Make the save. Why are we going to go to this when it's a slow ball, there's not going to be a lot of speed, he's up 14 years before you, let's just wait and net, right? There shouldn't be any more than that. As soon as this goes up, I'm also not crazy about the flip because you see how I put two on the wall here. As soon as he goes up, you already see that he's up. I don't like that you turned out. I want you just staying here, right? Because if he shoots to this side of the net, it's just a catch or an aerial and walk it out. If he shoots it to the far side of the net over here, you're just going to drive to it, clear it out the corner, secure another boost, and work your way out. Simple as that, right? But the second you choose to go up to this ball, you have committed a decision that was already late from the start, right? You were already behind from the start. And I'm going to keep saying this. I literally think you have such a high skill ceiling, but you have such a tight, like, blocking mental ceiling here that you're holding yourself down from, oh, I guess I got to go now. And when if you just take the second to really think about what you can't do and so on, you would be so smooth on the field. You have such a great just level of talent here that I think gets misused sometimes. And so if you put a little more thought, watch some of your replays, see what you do wrong, see what you do right, continue obviously listen, hopefully if you enjoy it, listening to my feedback and trying to take it, you can really start to refine your game to a spot where things like this aren't happening, right? Because when you go up to this ball, you are completely a fish out of water at this point, right? You have both your teammates rotating to the same side following a bit of a weird 50 off the kickoff. You've committed to an aerial you had no hope in hell in winning, and now this ball should be in your net. You should be losing with 35 seconds left on the clock, right? Same thing. I don't know why there isn't challenges here, right? This pops up. JO3, up instantly, right? Like, we need you up instantly to create these plays, but these hesitations are burning you completely. That should be a goal against. Bongtage, you weren't even in a good position to make the save, right? So we land. We cycle around. Your only thought right now should be net, right? Both your players are still rotating together right to the back post. Not a question, not a hope in hell are you going anywhere else. Ideally, you're going through the pad route, right? Right to the back of the net. Nothing more. You should be thinking defense right now because you just missed and should have been scored on. We continue. This ball pops up. You narrowly hit JO3, very narrowly hit JO3 when, like I said, he should have been up, but you turn back, and that's your fatal flaw. What are we turning for here, right? Like, what play are you hoping to make that JO3 isn't already attempting to make, right? So your only thought should be going back to net right now, being ready on that goal line to make whatever save you end up needing to make. But instead, you make the decision after he hits it, and again, K-Dog should have scored on you. Within 10 seconds, there easily should have been 2 goals against, right? Give that a follow. Give that a follow, baby. Nice try. Nice try. I love to see it. Good try on the demo, too. Right to the back post. Perfect. Love it. Where are we hitting? Who are we giving it to, right? Intentional, intentional, intentional. You go up, and I'm hoping your backflip was you trying to slow it down, but catch it and go, right? We're in a 3-on-1 right now, and we just hand it back to him, right? All right, OT, and let's see it. Oh. So I know you were playing his miss there. Sorry, I know you're playing his hit here, JO3s, but you're still so close, right? Like, you got to really think about that. And again, you're committing to this wall. Like, this is a big theme I'm seeing right now of you drive out and you instantly commit to this wall. If K-Dog gets a Cookser pinch here, just by accident even, let's say, you're done, right? Like, you are completely out of the game. This is coming this way. JO3 already has the wall covered, right? He already has the dribble. So what are you hoping to cover here, right? I feel like I'm being a bit of an asshole, but I feel like you can take it. I'm trying to be hard on you, right, and be critical for you. What are we covering here, right? I'd much rather see you on the ground, close to your net, so you can cover if anything crazy happens, right? And we're fortunate that nothing does, but still, you are narrowly beaten by this, right? And so this goes through. You expect JO3 to get the touch, and you are already inching up, but you're still so close to him that you can't react to anything that changes. And now you end up rushing this touch, which then pops up, and you actually, again, should have been beat cleanly, but you have a fantastic 50. Such a great aerial 50 there to keep that in. And now, lads, we're in pressure mode, right? Now we call it. Stay tight. Don't go all the way back for boost. You should be using pads. Good. You turn. I love it. That's what we should look like. We're in pressure mode. Unfortunately, we lose it there, but that's what this should always be looking like. I love the pre-flip. I think, the pre-jump completely. I think you made the right call here. Ideally, and so this shows the value of being tight to that back post. So let me show you the line here. You're too close, right? Actually, let's do it from above. This will be a little better from above. So let's watch. Ball pops out. The flip fine, but the line bad. That's what I'm trying to say here. Your line should always, always, always be for the back post, or even in my opinion, I will always say this: it should be past the back post so that you are in a position where you can curve into it, right? And so, watching this line, and I'm going to get rid of the other one. You are now in a position where when this pass comes, you can actually intercept it. Let's watch. I'm going to leave the lines up. Let's watch it from here. All right, let's slow it down a bit. But because he cuts it as hard as he does, and because the angle you follow, you have no hope in meeting that pass, right? So all your hope is pre-jump, put a body in the way, and hope to hell it works. And it does, luckily, right? But if, let's say we follow Ranger's line here at the end. Watch Ranger. If he happened to be you in this case, and when that pass came across, tell me that's not the easiest eat up for him in the world, right? When that pass comes. And so that's why when we go back here, if you had followed this line, I'm going to draw it in yellow as we go. You come across and you come through. This is a much easier read for you all the way through. You catch now not one, but two players out of the zone. You now have Ranger full boost and JO3 can turn with you into a 3-on-1 that we can turn into a scoring opportunity just because you were smart enough to come to that back post, read it perfectly, and go on through. This is a huge part of transitional Rocket League, right? This is a massive, massive, massive part of being able to actually turn what feels like a potential goal against into a goal for. And luckily, you guys are able to generate that play anyways. But that's such a big thing to keep in mind here, that I really want you thinking as much as you can about how to turn any type of defense into instantly an offensive situation. And very fortunately, you get a good 50 that ends up going in for you there. So that's my big notes for you. And so this is where we'll kind of lead into our closing notes. Dude, you have so much skill. I love watching you play. You are fast. You're intentional. You have always solid hits. You know what you're doing. You got to start incorporating a little more, like, I don't know how to word it. You gotta start incorporating a way to actually turn your speed and your skill into something that is play generating, not just the play reacting, if that makes sense. So in the end here, when you pre-jump, you're just hoping, let's not lose this game, let's make a save. The second you know that it's not there, we need to be thinking, how do we turn this into offense? So how do we take that clear that I pointed out at the very beginning of the game, like just before you got your first goal, how do we take you just booming the ball into the center field and turn it into I see JO3 going down the line, I'm going to hit him and set up a play and set up a breakout, right? You guys proved so much throughout this game that you are the faster team in this situation, so you should be abusing the breakouts. When they double commit, when they triple commit, there's no reason you're not scoring on every single rush. So you guys really got to start refining these passes. That's the big thing for the team, is the breakouts. For you, Bongtage, I think the big thing I saw, like I said, was the backboard reads and the overhead defense. So look up some of those packs. Like I said, if you don't know them or you haven't seen them or anything like that, just let me know. Shoot me a message and I'll pass them along. But there's literally a defensive backboard reads packs that I believe has been featured a lot, / might be in the browser in general, so you might be able to find it. Or just Google it. But like I said, please let me know. I will more than happily pass some along and pass some codes along. But dude, man, I love watching you play. You are at such a good level right now, and you're at such a you, in my opinion, are at some of the one of some of the best ranks for Rocket League. Like, so fun. There's a lot of speed. There's a lot of consistency, and it's just good, solid passing Rocket League. And that first goal, and like I kind of want to go back to it, to be honest. That first goal that you guys scored, just absolutely flawless breakout here of a defensive play that is turned into an intentional pass, that is turned into a follow downfield, that has turned to a nice pass off the backboard, to a narrowly scored top left goal, to a beautiful 50 to win, right? And so, like, that should be your breakout every single time one of you is touching the ball, and that should always be your intention when you're coming into it. And so I hope, from me kind of like really harping on that this game, you guys can really start putting a little more effort into that, because I'm sure you've noticed, and I laugh because I see you have the little saved clip there, so I'm sure you were like, oh, what a goal, like, good passing play, boys, and like really excited about it. So make that your play every time, right? And like really focus on that. When I was coaching CRL, that was our play. We played stay-at-home defense. We played a turtle defense where we had all three players more often than not on basically all points in the net. So we had one player who was goalie and center. We had one player rotating to the back post, and the player at the front post would be challenging. And so we would almost always have three goalies. But the second that we knew that it was a weaker shot than whatever we've been receiving, the goalie or the back post, whichever side it was going to, would be looking for that person on the front post who was already breaking out downfield. And we would normally win 1-0, 2-1 games by basically never allowing goals, because we were playing very solid defense and always looking for breakouts, so that even if we only had two shots, we were scoring on all of them, right? So I'm not saying that's how you guys should think about playing, but it's a really good thing to try to add just to your toolbox, right? Of that, think about you're using G2, think about how G2 plays if you actually watch them at all, because their breakout game has been just instrumental for building the passing meta in Rocket League, and you guys already implement some of it. Let's get it consistent, right? And so that'll be my big team feedback there. So thanks again for sending. Thank you so much for the support, as always, Bongtage, and thank you so much for the patience. It really does mean the world to me. I appreciate the hell out of you. So that's where we're going to leave it. This has been another Patreon replay review. I've been Combo. Thank you so much for watching, listening, or however you choose to partake in this medium. And that's where we're going to leave it. So thanks so much, and bye for now.